They only said you will demoting from classroom, from principal to classroom. Many Nigerians want to say, okay, if tomorrow, God forbid, another somebody wake up this morning and decide to collect the registration fees of these children, either NECO or WAEC, the next thing is squander the money. And that's the highest thing they will do is they will demote me to classroom. Why we are bringing you is for you to know that civil service, there is a rules and engagement. We have, by God's grace, we'll be submitting this letter, our complaint, to the civil service this morning after this show. To that particular person did not employ himself, is under the Ministry of Education. He's not just the only one. There are many of their type principals who are doing this. And another aspect again is principal will not do this alone without the work of exams officers. And this is how we call it a collective crime. So this morning, I want you to tell us the name of the schools. We don't want the name of that person to be put on hold for now, pending the time your investigations are done. But the essence of coming here is for Nigeria to know this is the step you have taken. Thank you very much.
Once again, Auzubillahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Comrade Larry, I sincerely want to appreciate your work and giving the voiceless a voice to speak. Like I said, the examination in Niger State, some people think is an avenue where they can make money out of it. Money on ground, we may be able to talk to them up the WIAC office there, even if it is mean adding some late registration fee so that this student should write the exam. He said, if we can do that. I now asked the principal, where is money? He said, there is no money. There is no money, and you want me to write to WIAC or talk to WIAC? It's as if you're not serious. So I allow him to stay by my office. I went to the permanent secretary. I said, sir, this is my problem now. I have a principal before me. This is what happened. And there is no money. So we put our heads together. The money is about 1.something million. And at that particular time, that hardship, nobody can cover 1.something million. And by the time we do that, it has given people room to do anything they feel like.
To do, yes.
So I said, the best thing to do is to invite the PTA of that school.
And PTA executives.
The executive and some influential people in the community.
The stakeholders.
Yeah, stakeholders. So we invited them the following day. Luckily enough, all of them came. Because these are people that have zeal. These are people that have passion for education. At the dying minute, you are inviting somebody and they came. About 12 of them. We sat in the conference room. We started talking to them to understand things. In fact, they are not even aware that the children are not registered as of that time. So
what their hope is their children are waiting for the WAEC exams.
So all of us were looking at us and saying, how can we break this kind of situation to these people? So the PTA chairman said something. He said, sir, tell us why we are here. It's like I'm sensing something. The person says, no, you're not sensing. What you are sensing is why we called you. Because you saw the principal there. So we now told them this is what happened. Say, because they keep wondering. They knew after you register student, there will be exam number, there will be this, there will be that. But none of their child came back.
Nothing. No capturing.
Capturing. None of their child came back to say they have done this. So they were waiting for the magic. When they had the call from the ministry, their mind was telling them something is wrong. So we discussed at length. And to tell you why sometimes when you do something, the nemesis of people you did wrong to them will catch up with you. These people are innocent and they don't want anything more than their children to write examination. The amount said to be collected by the ministry is about 21,000. Because we tried to make it in such a way that registration will be uniform all over the state. Because of other charges they put, if we don't do that, you see a school charging 35, 25, 20, just like the private
school.
So
that
all school can contribute the same amount of money. So you won't be telling me that because of this we are charging higher. So, but the school charge about 27,000. That's another 27,000. That's another case.
Charge above
what we even
directive
said,
given to
them. So we discussed with them at length, and at the end of the day, we come to agree that they know nothing can be done as that time. They all agree that they will go back home and discuss with the other people. We now have to persuade them to believing that the decision of the ministry is for the interest of these children. And when we delay it longer, we may not get it right. But let's leave here with an agreement that the ministry will register this student by November, December to write this examination. And also this principal must pay that money. That is why we agree with them, and they took up. We promised to go there to calm situation down. They say, okay, no, they will be able to calm situation down because of the facilities we have. To my surprise, and what baffles me was 40% of those students are not students of our schools. Can you see where we are getting it wrong?
They came to register there.
They came to register there.
Oh my God.
Now, if I am paying for my own student, why should I pay for somebody that is not a student? That's always my challenge. And this is what I keep telling people. That if we're asking government to pay, let them pay for bona fide students, not external students who are not even supposed to write exam in our schools. So with that, Comrade Larry, we agree on that, and immediately the permanent secretary via the commissioner set up a committee to investigate thoroughly on what happened in that school. It is at the course of that investigation we realized that it's not only WAEC but also part of NECO. Some of these students paid for NECO. So the money is gone and we cannot get anything from the person. We asked him how much did he have. He doesn't have anything. As I'm speaking to you now, what that person was able to bring is just 80,000.
80,000.
80,000.
Out of millions of
naira.
naira.
It's in the record. We went to the bank to make sure that the money has they should be able to remit money. He has a loan in the bank. Can you see why I say nemesis will catch?
He has a loan again in the bank.
He has a loan in the bank, and this is a person that has about how many children with family. So we now said he should be remitting every month, so that at the end of the day, before the November, December, no matter the amount we collected, the ministry will now say and augment and register this as promised. So the committee came up with their resolution after all finding, inviting him that the best thing to do is to demote him to classroom.
As a punishment.
As a punishment, and also he must pay that money. Comrade Larry, you mentioned principals are doing this with collaboration of the examination officers.
Yes, sir.
I will not say no. I want to say 100% I'm with you on that.
Yes.
If you could remember last year, we gave directive that all examination officers should leave their offices.
Untransferred.
That is what is untransferred. They should leave their offices.
So at least let them go and test another environment.
Not even let them be free from the
exam
exam
office. Okay, they should not be untransferred. They should stay in the school.
Yeah, let them be free from.
They should appoint another person. See, we are coming back to that. You see, somebody will be examiner for 10 years, 15 years. For God's sake, when we have about 100 and something staff, it's not family title.
Exactly.
It's not Molak system. It has to do based on merit and competency. If you do like 2-3 years or 4 years, let another person also come in and do it. It add value to the CV of that teacher that once I was an examiner of a school. But when one person continue doing it, it shows that something is hidden. And that's what is applicable in Niger State Public School.
So in line to that, we also said examination officer can only remain in his office for only 3 years.
3 years.
3 years. But you see, when you are fighting corruption from corruption, you're fighting back.
It fight back.
And that's how they keep fighting us, saying this, hearing that. But we will not relent on this we are doing. In order to reduce this examination issue, collection of money, we last 2 weeks I met with the zonal directors and the education secretaries and directed them to go and set up a committee. In each of the zone, we'll have a committee that will be monitoring the conduct of examination from registration to the last day. So that, you see, parents are not helping us sometimes. You go to a school, you know this is the charges, and they are asking you to pay 25,000. You go ahead and pay. You don't ask questions. You don't come to ministry to ask us. It is when something blow up like this,
They will not come.
they will now come. If not because the principal come to me, we wouldn't know this
We will
thing.
not know this.
They will do it hidden because of the assistant. There was a time we were in the house, somebody was challenging the ministry that we transfer an exam officer because of collection to assist people.
What an insult.
It's an unfortunate situation. So I think, but with the coming of this government, a lot of things is changing, and people are seeing it. The handwritten is clearly,
It's boldly.
is boldly